Alright, what is up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, we are going to be checking out two new black and yellow leaders coming out. They're on the horizon, right? You see how the thumbnail is here. It's on the horizon. It's in the future. Black and yellow ended up becoming a deck and color pairing that I really fell in love with. When I started playing this game, I came into the game basically at ST06, which was Absolute Justice. That was Navy during the OP02 set. And that's what got me into the game. And I didn't know anything before that, but that's what really kind of sold me when I was looking into the game. I was like, man, the black cards look really awesome. Yellow was not out yet. And once yellow came out, I was like, man, this is really awesome as well. And then the third favorite color I've talked about before is blue. So I do like blue, black with Dressrosa. You know, hint, hint. This is Chyros here in the middle. This is a Dressrosa type leader we're going to talk about. So blue, black, and yellow kind of ended up becoming my three favorite colors. The colors that I resonate most with as a player. So we're going to be looking at two new black and yellow leaders coming out in about 4 to 5 months, guys. It's coming around. You know, we just got OP05 over here in the West, and the East just got their hands on OP06. Okay, so these cards we're going to be looking at are coming out even after OP06, so they're not even available in the East. So just a quick disclaimer, a quick heads up, we got some spoilers coming, so bear with me. If you don't want to get anything spoiled, you know, you'll have to watch this video later. All right, let's go ahead and hop into it. So black and yellow Charlotte Linlin. This is like my main deck, and it has been my main deck now for at least an entire set. I'm very happy with it, and that's one thing we're going to talk about, guys. We're going to talk about, once we go over these leaders, I want y'all to tell me which leader looks the best, and, you know, or slash which leader do you think is going to do the best once released, and why. You know, just kind of like a heads up on that kind of thing. Like what do you think? I always love to hear y'all's feedback. I like to hear ideas. You know, I get ideas from y'all as well sometimes, guys. So, all right, let's keep going. This leader, I'm going to read through the ability real quick. It's a Dawn ×2, when attacking, pay 2, trash 1 card from hand. If you have 1 or less cards in your life area, place up to 1 card from the top of your deck at the top of your life area. So you're going to have to swing for 7 with her, or, you know, attach 2. You're going to pay 2 and trash a card to gain a life by, but if you have 1 or less life cards currently. So this leader's fine currently as is, especially because of the fact that she has access to a very powerful character in 10 cost Charlotte Linlin. However, a lot of people don't like running this leader. I'm not going to give my interpretation. If you want my interpretation on how good I think this leader is, I have many videos on it. I think she's very good, and I go into way more detail as to why in other videos. But long story short, just to give a quick summary for the video, I think this leader is very underrated. Yes, it is a high skill level deck. I would put it up at the, you know, whatever you consider the highest skill level deck in the game currently. I don't care what it is. Whatever you consider the highest skill level deck in the game, I would put this up there right around that. I'm not going to say above it. I don't want to say under it. I'm just going to say right around that area. Okay, this is a very high skill level deck. Okay, and it does have access to very powerful boss cards in Linlin, and it has access to all the black card pool, so it can use cards, you know, like Borsellino, Sabo, cost reduction, any of the Navy stuff. Okay, so very strong. Now, the thing about this leader being black-yellow, the main strengths of it, and we're going to talk about the main strengths of all the leaders we're about to look at, it really is the type. The fact that this is a Big Mom Pirates type leader means you have access to one of the strongest cards in the game. And the second biggest strength, I would say that, I don't know, it's probably 1A and 1B. Like 1A being the fact you have access to this insanely powerful leader. But the second is you get to gain a life every single turn once you're at 1 life or less. You can gain a life every single turn with this leader's effect. And as we're getting more and more powerful life gain you know, cards that we can gain life off of, this leader's effect becomes stronger and stronger as we get cheaper and cheaper ways to gain life. Okay, so next up, this is one of the first new leaders we're going to look at, black and yellow, Luffy. 5,000 power, 4 life. It's a supernova slash straw hat crew type. Okay, so just remember, right away, you're not going to be running Tinlin. It's not possible. Okay, now listen to this. Very technical. Down here is just from the Discord where the previews come from. Per the rules, your face-up life cards will be sent to the bottom of your deck instead of to your hand. Dawn times 2, activate main once per turn. Here's his effect. You may discard 1 card from your hand. If your life is at 0 cards, you may add up to 2 5-cost characters from your hand or trash to your life area face up. Sorry, guys, and this is a typo right here. My apologies. So, you see what's going on there, guys. As long as you're at 0 life, you can gain 2 life. Now, per this stipulation right here, if you have a face-up card, you will not draw the card. It will not trigger. It will go straight to the bottom of your deck. Just to give you guys a heads up. Like, instead of drawing it, even if it's a trigger, it doesn't go to the board, it will go to the bottom of your deck unless they change the ruling on that. And they might. They could change the ruling on that in the future. But currently, from all the judges that I've seen, like I like to sit in the judge channel on Discord. There's a like a judge Discord. Excuse me, and they are basically saying currently, unless something changes, your triggers will not happen from this effect. Nothing. It is just going to the bottom. Okay. The effect only costs 2 Dawn, and it is an activate main once per turn. And the immediate cards that come to my mind are cards like this. These are really strong 5-cost characters that you can get into your trash very easily through countering or blocking. In the case of Sabo, Shirahoshi has her ways too. Shirahoshi is probably going to be the hardest one to get to the trash, honestly. Maybe you'll just swing with her for whatever reason just to turn her sideways. I don't know. Or they'll KO her in another way. It's hard to say. Shirahoshi might not be the best example. But Satori and Virgo are very easy to get into your trash because they're 2K counters. So, you're countering out early to get them in your trash, and then later in the game, when you're at 0 life, now you can start gaining life, right? And yes, you don't get to get recurring value from the card itself, like, through getting it back to your hand, but who cares? It gives you an extra turn, to survive. And then Sabo, we know what he does. Gidatsu as well, very strong as well. Now, cards that you're probably going to need to run to combo with Luffy, because otherwise they're just not going to attack you when you have 1 life unless they can finish you, right? So I think Thunderbolt and Monkey D. Luffy, the 3-cost 4K here, this is a promo card, and there are many other cards that have this effect of when attacking, you may trash the top card of your life or add the top card of your life to your hand, and then you'll get a special effect. Thunderbolt is probably the best one, right, for what we're trying to do. Excuse me. You're going to have access to black and yellow, so Thunderbolt, of course, is there, and then you're going to have cost reduction from black, potentially. So you're going to be able to KO pretty much whatever you want to with Thunderbolt. And then you're going to get to 0 life, and it's like, oh, man, that's not good. Well, yes, it is good, because now you're going to recycle, your 5-cost cards from your trash to your life. And again, people who might be thinking like, yeah, but I can't get the trigger from them or I can't get them back to my hand. It doesn't matter. You still eat an attack. You see what I'm saying? It is still very, very powerful. It's still very, very relevant. So this is a pretty strong leader. And at the end, I'm going to compare all the leaders to each other, guys. So bear with me for that. There is also another card that has been spoiled recently. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is Viola. She is a 2-cost 0-power yellow character coming out in EB01, whatever that is, some kind of special set. It is a 2-cost blocker with 0 power and a 1K counter. On play, choose one of these following effects. Either look at all of your opponent's life, then return them in any order. Okay, very strong manipulation there. But listen to this next one. Turn all of your life cards face down. So, all of the sudden, you will have the potential to turn some of your cards face down and get extra value out of something like a Shirahoshi, or, even just getting another Sabo to hand or a Satori, these 2K counters and whatnot. So a lot of potential there. And we'll see. We'll see how things happen over time. We have no idea yet. Okay. And then next up we have Chyros. This is the last leader we'll be talking about. This is, again, a black-yellow leader. 5,000 power, 4 life. They're all 5,000 power, 4 life. This one is a Dressrosa type black leader, by the way. So that's going to open up a lot of tools from the black Dressrosa cards. Activate main once per turn. You may turn the top card of your life face up. KO up to one of your opponent's cost 0 characters. So guys, that's very interesting, right? The fact that it's Dressrosa immediately opens up this possibility, right? If your leader has the Dressrosa type, your characters that have the Dressrosa type can attack characters on the turn they are played. So right away, you know, you're going to be able to swing in with, I got it a little bit out of order. You're going to be able to swing in right away with your Cavendish and your Luffy. And you're going to have access to King Kong Gun because you're going to be running so much Dressrosa potentially. You don't have to, but there's the potential there. Okay, now one thing we do have to consider is Chyros in the Chyros deck will still not be able to use the on-play effect of Chyros. As unfortunate as that is, because it specifies if your leader is Rebecca, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 1 or less, then trash 1 card from the top of your deck. So I think either way you'll still get to trash the card from the top of your deck, but I don't think you'll be able to do this on, or maybe not, actually. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you'll get the on-play. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I'm not exactly sure. Okay, whatever the case is, you will not be able to KO because your leader is not Rebecca. Now, you still will want to run the Dressrosa Core to Coliseum, so that way your Chyros has extra protection. But then you're also going to have these incredibly powerful blockers. Remember, we just looked at this. This is a blocker, guys. Don't forget that. A 2-cost 0-power blocker, just like Rebecca, will be a 4-cost 0-power blocker. They both have extremely powerful effects. They have counters. They're both Dressrosa. These are, just to make sure y'all see that, guys, they're both Dressrosa. You see that? Very, very strong. Okay. As far as the effect goes itself, and we already talked about these, you're going to be able to attack, as long as you have the Core to Coliseum down, you're going to be able to drop in Cavendish and Monkey D. Luffy, just start smashing away. And last but not least, this might open up the possibility of some type of, you know, half Dressrosa, half Control list, half Navy maybe, where you're going to be able to combo this leader with very powerful characters like this. Think about on a turn, you know, turn 5, you're on the curve, right? Where you know, you're on the draw rather, where you get to draw a card, and you know you're on the even curve. Excuse me, sorry guys. You play Kuzan, you KO one of their 5 costs, and then you flip your life card over with Chyros, and then you KO one of their others. Let me make sure something. Yeah, there is no cost associated with this. You don't have to attach any Dawn. It's just activate main once per turn. So on your 10 Dawn turn, you drop Kuzan to KO a 5 cost there, and then if you have an Orlumbus down, you'll be able to combo it with the Kuzan and KO, you know, with your Chyros as well, a 9 cost. It's just, there is a lot of potential here, guys. There's a lot of potential with this leader. I'm not a huge fan. I'm going to be honest. I'm not a huge fan of this leader's effect. Let's go back to the effect real quick. But I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad at all. In fact, I think it's very powerful. Like I just said, if you drop down to Kuzan, or if you just run the Navy package if you run, I should have put that in here. If you run the package that's running the Rebeccas, the Manshuris, the Hinas, the Branus, you'll be able to run that entire package, and on your leader, you're going to have a KO. Right? That's one less tool that you need to pop one of their characters. You can just go in further on the cost reduction stuff of like Hina, Great Eruption, what's it called? Ice Age, and all these other cost reductions, because your KO is baked into your leader. So I do think this is going to be potentially very powerful, and it's yellow, so you're going to be able to run something like Yamato in here, or any of the new cards. We haven't really looked at them too much, but some of the new cards from OP06, that the Momonosuke card, and the new trigger Kikanojo, however you say it. And so all I'm trying to say is there's going to be lots of aggressive options, lots of control options. It's going to be really interesting. So just to summarize, let me go all the way to the end here. And if I missed anything, guys, please, by all means, say so in the comment section below. Help me out. But looking at all these leaders, I'm going to be completely honest with everyone. I still lean towards Linlin, because Black Yellow Charlotte Linlin just gets to gain life every turn. There is no stipulation realistically. And for those who play the deck, you know what I'm saying. Like, yes, you have to trash a card, and you have to be on 1 or less life. But you build your deck around that, and you make your decisions around that, where if you need to, you will gain 1 life every single turn, and have a relevant follow-up play, where it's just very powerful. And you have access to Linlin. You know, you have access to this extremely powerful boss character. I do think the Chyros leader is very interesting, being able to KO by just flipping over your life cards. Because, you know, you're kind of just saying, hey, I'm having it all out there. I'm not afraid of what's in my life. You're going to see what's coming your way. And there's probably going to be triggers in there. You know, let's be honest. And there's no way for them to get around them. You know? But when it comes to anything yellow related, I do want there to be some type of life gain baked into the leader's effect, or else I'm just going to probably play Katakuri, because Katakuri is just a beater. You know, he's mono yellow, and he's just going to attack, and have access to very powerful tempo options and 7 cost Charlotte Linlin and 10 cost Charlotte Linlin, where he can just keep being aggressive while taking your life in the process passively. You see what I'm saying? Or you're gaining life passively. So when I think of the more aggressive options that have yellow in them, if it can't compete with what Katakuri does, or even what Enel does now, Enel's a whole nother option now to talk about, but it'll be interesting. All I want to say is this: I don't think these leaders are bad. I just really care more for the attrition style that Charlotte Linlin is currently, being able to gain a life every turn. I think the Luffy is going to be very interesting as well, how you're going to be able to, basically, you're going to force your opponent to swing into your life, and if they're not going to do that, like, okay, then I'm going to take it into my own hands, right, and KO one of your characters in the process, and then gain a life from that. You know, and yeah, even though you might not get the full benefit of getting it again because of how the leader's effect works per the rules, but it doesn't matter. You're still generating value. You're still generating just value. Yeah, there's another way to say it. But yeah, and Chyros, like I said, I think this is gonna be really interesting, because this will kind of battle with Blue-Black Sakazuki in a way. Not y'all hear me out. Hear me out. Not in the way that you might be thinking, where it's like, well, no, Sakazuki is going to keep doing what it does. Yes, of course it will. But these are both probably going to be decks that seek to KO something every single turn, right? Where you're going to build in the cost reduction. And while, yes, Sakazuki will have access to way better card cycling, Chyros here will have access to, I would argue, way stronger late game potential in terms of like Katakuri, you know, Yamato or Yamato, however you say it. And a lot of people are starting to say that yellow is like the strongest card pool. I think for a while it was blue, and now I do think they're right that it is kind of shifting into yellow, especially going into OP06. So we'll have to see what happens. I'm very interested. Excuse me. I'm very interested to see how things go. I want to hear what y'all have to say, guys. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. And sorry if this is a little misleading, how it says black-yellow decks. It should just be black-yellow leaders on the horizon. But we did talk a little bit about it. And that's the one last thing I'll mention is Chyros has a strong type for black-yellow in Dressrosa. That's going to turn on any Dressrosa type of effect, like from Leo, you know, Rebecca's searching Dressrosa stuff, the 1 cost, you got the 4 cost Rebecca. You're going to have access to Quarter Coliseum and all that good stuff. And, of course, Sabo's going to go in probably all of these decks, the 5 cost. And then Linlin, you know, she has access to Big Mom Pirates type. The one that's kind of lacking right now feels like Luffy to me, because he is Supernova and Straw Hat Crew. And currently, at the time of me posting this, you know, of me going over this, there's just no black and yellow support from Supernova and Straw Hat, realistically. There's a few Straw Hat cards in black, surprisingly, but nothing too crazy. Nothing deck defining like Dressrosa and Big Mom Pirates. So, and also, guys, don't forget, there are still cards that have not been spoiled that might make me change all kinds of ideas, guys. Like at the time of recording this card right here, Viola, just came out. Like this had just came out when I see yesterday of me posting this at like 5 a.m. Okay, so just to give you guys a heads up. Okay, well, I think that's about it, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you have not already. Please don't be afraid to leave a comment in the comment section below. And until next time, guys, peace.